Hi everybody, it's been an exceptionally hot summer, no doubt about it. A classic English summer, what seems to have come from many years ago when I was a youngster. It always seemed like this. But I think we've not done too bad on the boat because all these years we've boated, we've always thought about the heat and the cold on boats and how what's the best way of controlling it. And this video I'm going to talk about both because it's the same issue. After having a selection of boats, and this is just like our own feelings on it. The problem is, on a boat for us, was too much glass. Too much glass either in the roof or large windows and everything like that. Was always what we considered to be a problem for both cold and definitely for the heat. So our boat was designed a completely different way. And the main thing was we've got to exclude large areas of glass on the boat because it's cold and condensation or roasting hot. And I'll try to explain a bit more about that when I go through a few things. So we'll get on with it and you might understand it a bit more then. First thing we're going to have a look at is what goes in the roof. Now many people have what they call Houdini hatches, quite big, and quite big, a lot bigger than these prisms, and they let a lot of heat in even when you open them up for ventilation, and invariably some people cover them up. And also if you've got one, or some people even have them over the bed, condensation again is a huge issue with Houdini hatches. So heat and condensation comes from them both, and we're not a great fan, but plenty are. But we have these prisms. They let a lot of light in, the design of them, and very thick glass, and they don't let that much heat in, which is brilliant because they're not gigantic. But they can very rarely though get a little bit of condensation on them in winter, and I'll just show you what we put in. But it's not this exact piece of sponge because we've left them at home, but it's a simple idea, and I'll show you that first. It's a better fit than that, but we've got them cut to size and we just put them in if it's night time. On the very rare occasion we get condensation, most of the time it's not an issue. But in winter they'll be, the big areas of glass will be dripping in the roof. But as we say today, we're concentrating more on the heat side of things, with it being such a mad hot summer. So the prisms are very good letting light in, and very good for not letting the heat pour in as well. So that's one of our recommendations. Well, the next thing is what people use on the cabin sides, and so many people use, have big windows, absolutely huge windows. We've done that on previous boats and we definitely wouldn't do it again. Our choices are completely different. There's a few things what people get a bit stuck in the ways with. They think if you've not got big windows the boat gets dark inside. Well, it doesn't, not if you've done it right. We've talked about the prisms which let lights just flood in, but there is there is other things as well what are not only keeping the boat warm, less condensation, and you can increase the airflow as well, because invariably you have a great big window on the side and the sun streams in and you close the curtain You know, this is what amazes me. The curtain's closed. You know, you've got your little louver perhaps on the top or something like that. There is some companies make windows what come out in a unit, but they don't look too clever. But there's a few who do, and then people, that's their choice. But that's not what we wanted. We wanted to be able to have plenty of light in the boat and have the choice of privacy or not, have the choice of a proper airflow going through the boat, and actually not be mithered with shutting curtains to keep the heat from coming in. Just as, because it's such a big area of glass, it's condensation time in winter as well. So after all our trials and tribulations, we said, well, there's got to be better solutions, and we think there is in a boat, and we'll move on to that one next, because as well as the cold aspects of it, there's the warmth aspect. You see, both are like that in boats, and we'll move on to these things, and we'll try to show you an understanding of why we've done what we've done. Now this is our large side hatch in the galley area. You can have side hatches what are just little squares, but we like the full length ones, and that one is in our galley area. So that's the first side hatch we've got. In our large living area, where we have got loads of room and we can eat food off a table and not off our legs and all that, because I can't stand that either, but we have two more side hatches. So there's one, and then we'll just show you the other, and this one is our third side hatch. This makes it brilliant for having light in when we want it to be in, for the airflow to increase tremendously in the boat, and also we have the choice, if it's cold, of closing the windows and still having light there, or we can be completely enclosed and have total privacy. And this is how it all works, and at no time do they have any impact on condensation in winter, but they have a huge impact on how comfortable the boat is inside. And we'll just show you a little bit about how they all come together, opening and closing as and when we want. And I just think having more side hatches, large side hatches, are far better than having large windows, because you've got far more choice then how you want things to be in the boat. And no shutting of curtains. Boy oh boy, I'm not a fan of curtains. Right, so we're just concentrating on one of our side hatches at the moment, and that one is just fully closed up, twofold. If it was winter time, all nice and cosy, and if it's summertime, keeps the heat out. So it's doing everything as it should do. We'll just move it on a few things now, a few notches. First thing, our panes of glass can just fall back, and they just hook on here. So that's nice and straightforward. And then we can do a couple of things here which can be advantageous in winter and summer. So it's freezing cold outside. I know it's definitely not today, but if it was, or it's in winter and we want a bit of light but not you know, not for it to get cold, we just open the hatches and close the glass, and we get all the light we need, and we keep the warmth in. But like that, we'd obviously, heat could stream in when I'm talking about, you know, glass and that, so the warmth of a really strong sun, I'd soon get the boat roasting hot. In this really hot weather, airflow is so important, coming from different angles, through the boat to make it far more bearable. If you didn't have any hatches, you know, any side hatches, or just had one, the airflow doesn't come around as much. It's still there, but it's not great. And if you've just got one, and then you've got all your big windows and everything, it soon starts to get very, very hot in a boat. And having three of those does make the air movement of the boat far greater, and it's far more comfortable an environment to be in. So we have the one on the port side, and we've got the two on the starboard side. Like I said, they're open now. One there, and just one here. And we will continue with it now and show you a few other bits. We obviously have the doors like all boats, whether you're a semi-trad, a cruiser or a traditional, and we're traditional. But to help us as well, besides it being useful for me and Bernadette at the back, both being able to stand here, we have a large hatch which we can fully open, and again during the really warm weather it assists with the airflow through the boat. We now move on to our choice of window, you could say, but they're actually portholes. Everybody I'll probably know that. But again, they're to our advantage. We've showed you that if we have the three side hatches open, we've got airflow, and we're not closing all the curtains on big loads of glass, or we're getting condensation in winter or anything. There is other solutions. Now, the one thing we don't, and particularly in the area where we are, in the galley and the saloon and dining area, we don't like anything blinds or rails or anything on the side. We like it looking clear and crisp. We always have with portholes. We do have curtains just in the bedroom, because that allows us to do what I'm going to show you in a minute and have some privacy as well. Now, first thing, porthole bungs. Decent porthole bungs as well. They match our furniture, and they're very handy to be used. If you're really struggling, because sometimes people have portholes what don't open, or if they do open, particularly the anodized, because these are solid brass these, but on the anodized they have a split and they just open slightly. They might want to keep the heat out, but we have ours, or with the little angle on as well if we want to use it. Like I said, they're really good, and you just put them in, job done. Twofold, can keep the heat from coming in the small area that the portholes have, kills the condensation of the very bits we do have, and we don't have much in winter, and then if we feel like it we can just take them out. But there's nothing, no blinds or anything round, it's just all crisp and clear, and we prefer it that way. Now the other thing we do to stop any fading as well, we cover them up sometimes. See, we just have a black cover, because if the sun's cascading on there all the time, he'll soon fade. So that's just exactly the same, just goes in, and we can just take them out. So we have, you know, two ways of doing things there. But it's not finished at that point, because this porthole, and we have 10 of these and they all work the exact same way. Every single one of them, all 10, open. So now we'll have the bow and stern, both can be wide open. got the doors and the hatches, all large hatches. We've got the 3 large side hatches, which we can have open or close, whatever, but we'll talk about the eat now. They're all open. Then we've got 10 of these, so 10 portholes, and they can all be opened. But even better, we've got 10 portholes what can be completely open, and it does help to keep the boat a heck of a lot cooler than being in a tube without much ventilation, or huge windows blocked over with curtains, or just having the vent open on the the louvre at the top and all that. It's just a great way, and it just keeps the air moving round, and it's been really important during this hot summer that we have stuff like that. And I know not many have so many things what can open for airflow. So that's how we thought, after having a few boats, we thought about this long and hard, and that's why we think our solution now is spot on. So we've had many decades of boating, so we come with our solutions. We know how important it is in winter and summer. In winter we know we've got the smaller areas of glass and a lot less condensation risk, but we also use a dehumidifier as well in winter, a decent enough one, a big enough one, so it nullifies the condensation issue. But in this heat it's been unbelievable, and our thought process, like I said, we've had other boats with we've had a side hatch in the Galley, and we've had the big windows. We've had double glaze in the works, and this time we thought comfort's more important than anything. And beside the fact that we've got a massive area, comfortable area in the saloon and dining area, not being uncomfortable is very important, and it's often overlooked. So we designed our boat with all that in mind. We've got a huge hatch at the back to let air flow in. We've got the doors on the stern as well. We've got big doors on the bow. 3 massive side hatches. 10 opening portholes, and all the glass can lift out on each. We couldn't do much more, to be honest. Apart from night time, when we're in bed. Some of the nights have been so hot and we've had everything open and it's still been warm. So we have what a lot of people have. We have one of them. That's quite a big fan, that. The problem is it's noisy, so it doesn't do us any good at night if it's switched on buzzing around. So we said we need another solution, and we've looked at all sorts of things. We've looked at air conditioning, air coolers, and we seriously thought about them. But a friend of ours who's had this particular thing for, I think it's getting on for 3 years now, raves about it, and I'm going to show it you because it has been a revelation and allowed us to have a comfortable night's sleep with no noise. And we'll move on to that bit next. This is the Dyson Cool AM6. It's been absolutely wonderful for us. It's got a timer setting, because it's remote control, by the way. There it is, which can be from 15 minutes to 9 hours. And it's got 10 speed settings, and obviously it's got no blades. Very efficient, and it does what it says. It's kept us so cool when we're asleep during all this hot weather, and we wouldn't be without it now, would we?
Oh, we absolutely love it, and it has a little purring noise in the background.
Yeah, that's it. So that is one of our main solutions to combat the really hot weather.
The Dyson Cool.